What's good, family? What's good? What's good? GATV back at it again. Now, I'm about to just jump right into this. Tariq Nasheed finally is done with... Let me gather composure. Okay. Tariq Nasheed is finally done with this museum. And real quick, let's do the size comparisons. Here's the digital, portrayal of it that y'all paid $2 million for. All right. Get a good look at it. And now, here is the church storefront that represents that dream. All right. Now, let's go ahead and round of applause. I mean, the man got it done. And while we at it, let's just go ahead and talk about this. I want to apologize to a lot of the Nashedians that I said donated money. With your 5th grade education, I don't even believe you had 2 nickels to rub in your pockets and give it up to Tariq. I truly believe this brother could have been funded by higher ups, and I'm gonna just leave it there. I don't even want to go deep into it, but I understand how this goes. COINTEL is a hell of a thing now, but I don't even believe black people came together like that and gave this man $2 million for a church storefront. I just don't want to believe it. And I think maybe that's what it is. Maybe that I have too much respect for my people to believe that y'all came together and supplied this man to pull off probably one of the biggest finesse in our community in years. I'm just saying. So with that, like I said, I do believe the majority of his funding was funneled through other means and other avenues that has nothing to do with us. And I really do believe that, man. So I had former videos about this museum. You can check it out. The links will be in the description, if you care, because I know most of us don't give a damn. All this seems like jokes, but, in all seriousness, what is this? What is this? In 2023, we still allow Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson-like folks to keep one-upping on us, man. A brother who has, and check this out real quick, who has a so-called non-FBA wife, which, by the way, I could give a damn about. But if you're going to attack other people for being the same as your wife is, what that say about who you are and your so-called morals and principles and self-constitution? And, one of my kids pointed something out about that museum. And this is where, or rather, this is the reason why I made the video of all the things that I can attack about this so-called storefront building. And yes, let's admit, that's a nice sign up there. I mean, y'all paid $2 million for that. That's a nice sign up there. But in all seriousness, this is one of the main things I wanted to address. So, Tariq Nasheed mostly pandered to his FBA Nashedianites, and you guys donated money to somebody pushing his trademark term FBA versus everybody, FBA over everything, FBA. Mind your own business is about FBA. Mind you, and I always have to say this, I put an asterisk on FBA because my black American brothers and sisters got nothing to do with that cult movement. Got nothing to do with that movement. So let's just get that out of the bag right now. FBA ain't got nothing to do with black Americans. This is about, the black people, no matter who you are in the diaspora, the black people who follow grifters and scam artists like Reek. I got to start calling him Reek because he's smooth. I'm sorry. I had to think of a smoother name for the grifter, man. I call him Reek, man. He's too smooth, man. I see right through you, and guys like me see right through you. But, I digress, man. But with funneling money through initially FBA means, none of you FBA Nashedians find it funny that the guy who trademarked FBA has not put up an FBA flag on that building? And as minute as that may seem or sound, as petty of a thing you might think that I am to liken a flag to a building where you would call that meaningless, I say not. I say that's literally an example of a bigger meaning. I mean, to funnel money through this FBA movement and not even represent a flag that he trademarked. See, Tariq is not an idiot. This is a man that's civil when he's in front of white folks. So in that area he's at, that building, that storefront building, you got non-so-called FBA business owners in that area. You got white European business owners in that area. You have Hispanic, business owners in that area. So Tariq is not an idiot. Tariq understands this is about funneling in money to his pockets. You could be anybody and walk in that door if you got them dollars out. So putting up that flag, which he knows what that flag represents, because, a lot of you ain't gonna admit it, but I will. FBA is a black hate group. Not black hate group like the Black Panthers were deemed unfairly to be, like many black organizations that's for their people, were deemed to be. FBA is a black hate group that has the most smoke for other black people. Don't want nothing to do with White Zaddy and his so-called oppressive, nature. Y'all don't want nothing with that man. That's why most of the energy, and go look on Twitter right now. Go look on Twitter and see all the Nashediites and the Nashedians tweeting about black this, non-FBA that. They ain't got no smoke for that white man. Yet Tariq understands, being political. Tariq understands dialogue. Tariq understands, certain elements of civility. He's not gonna put that flag up there. So while you walk around with that trademark flag that he owns, while you puff and push your chest up and out and about, that museum that you want to cheerlead, well, actually, for the record, most of you actually have strayed away from cheerleading that museum project, because a lot of you are looking at this building right here, and then you're looking at the digital example he gave you. None of it match, and a lot of you already know those are question marks and red flags, but you dare not stop the motion of your xenophobic movement. So you rather not even ask questions. You rather move along to the next issue. But nah, I'm gonna keep my foot on y'all next. Your king, Tariq Nasheed, doesn't even place a flag on a building that he's presenting to the world that was brought to the world off the back of so-called Nashediites and their FBA movement. When you conquer something, when you establish something, you place that flag right there, loud and proud, the way he is on Twitter. The only place he can be where he can puff his chest out, poke on people through internet. Because when Tariq is around all these so-called democratic shields, he's hobnobbing, rubbing shoulders. He's securing a bag for himself through networking. That's what good businessmen do. He ain't promoting your FBA jargon, please. And that's what I noticed with this museum. There ain't no mentioning on that building of anything dealing with FBA. And the irony of something called a hidden history museum. I mean, so much angles I can attack this thing on. But this is not even a video for everybody out there. I know there are little Nashediites who float in my channel. This was so you could stop and think for a second, because I don't hate you. I just know you drinking that Jamestown Kool-Aid. You ain't even drinking that regular coon-ass Kool-Aid. You drinking that Jamestown Kool-Aid. And if nobody stop y'all, there ain't no coming back. You on your way to the mothership, brother. One thing I love about Erykah Badu, She says something very, very powerful. Most intellectuals do not believe in God, but fear us just the same. Oh, on and on. And that's how I look at my people in the diaspora. The powers that we are doesn't entail us to become so weak where now we're dividing one another. We're just dividing based off small pockets here and there of people in the diaspora, whether it be Caribbean, whether it be Black American, whether it be blacks over here, over there. There's been pockets of that coon shit everywhere you go. But to utilize that and magnify it into a beef-like, hatred, we ain't got time for that. We got too much issues going on right here in our backyards to be on that. But the irony that I saw, man, that his so-called baby, his project, the Hidden History Museum, that man didn't even have the balls to put up that so-called ugly-ass FBA flag, representing the same American colors of the same so-called oppressors that you want to hate on. You donning their same colors through it. I mean, the flag is cheap as hell. I'm just gonna say it. This man constructed the perfect gimmick and scheme to wrap your little attention around, because he knows how to collectively put together people's bitterness, people's awful rhetoric, no work to show agendas. He understands how to put that together. That's how you had the Hitler out there. That's how you had a Stalin out there. All the so-called people out there in the world that knew how to use your little weak tendencies that you want to publicly portray out here. And Tariq did a great job grifting right onto your front feet. And now you don't know what to say. The only thing you can do is stick to it and keep it moving. It's like you afraid to admit you're wrong. And it's okay to say I made a mistake following something because I felt this type of way. I felt something that I couldn't explain. I couldn't properly analyze. I couldn't direct it where it needed to be directed. Looking at myself and asking myself, before I go talk about other people, before I want to redirect what's really going inside of me, let me properly diagnose this. Let me go ahead and put in the work that it takes to have a voice in my community. We can be anybody we want to be on that internet. But I'm telling you guys, I'm transparent as hell. I'm always going to show you who I am and what I do out here. I'll never be a grifter. I'll never ask you for $1 if I didn't need it. Meaning if I ever do start doing that, I will be transparent and show you and align you with everything that I do out here so you can know where your money's going. None of you know what Tariq's doing with y'all money. FBA ain't even properly organized. You don't have a chairman. You don't have somebody that's showing you receipts. Because everybody that knew Tariq beyond this whole FBA movement, because most of you are just followers, you probably followed many trends in your whole life. So following Tariq is nothing new. But those of us that know Tariq, I'm talking about 10 years plus before this crap, you know this is a man that has never shown receipts. I mean, he puts up things on the internet and you think that's what receipts is. I just went into a diatribe because I'm telling you, I take this very personal. And I'm gonna keep putting that pressure on. I hate xenophobic groups. I grew up not understanding why